Hello, everyone. Mariah-Jane Thies here. Just want to share a little bit of info about a new type of offering that I'm giving, first in person, but then eventually online. So stay tuned for that. So what I'm offering to people who live in the Lower Mainland, so Vancouver surrounding area, is to have a one-on-one session with me where I will be doing hands-on work with you that I'm calling the injury release method. What that is actually a suspiciously simple thing to do, as I suppose many things are once you know what you're doing. Way to help your nervous system to release the trauma and holding patterns that we get when we have an injury, especially a traumatic injury. So my experience with this came through my certification process in brain gym. And while I was doing my certification, my actual final exam sort of week, one of the gentlemen there introduced me to this thing called injury recall technique. And that's sort of what I'm doing with my own little spin on it. Now, at the age of 10, I had a traumatic ankle injury that happened when I was jumping rope, and the rope caught my ankle and twisted it. And, I was unstable for years, had 2 surgeries, and honestly, it changed the course of my life, in particular my dance life. And part of the thing that happened in my dance life is that it was stiff. And I had plie, which is what we call it when we're bending, that was really uneven. My left ankle, the one I injured, simply wouldn't bend the same amount as my right. My right took over a lot. I got Achilles tendonitis on the right because it was doing all this extra work. Anyway, this went on for over 25 years, where no matter what I did, stretching out the calf, etc., that ankle was still stiff. And I actually thought it was because of the damage to the interior of the joint. As a matter of fact, the surgeons told me that. They told me to expect to keep it as a stiff, almost like a arthritic ankle. And in one session with this wonderful man who introduced me to this technique that I've now learned, my ability to bend came back, and I bent more on that leg than I had in 25 years. In fact, it just keeps getting better from then. But that first leap of regaining function and flexibility has again changed the course of my dance life and everything that went along with being able to have a proper plie back again. So that's my big story with it. And I've continued to do other work on other types of injuries, root canals, a particularly traumatic injury that tightens up the whole nervous system. So if you've had an injury, and honestly, who of us have managed to escape not having some type of injury? But if you know that that injury is probably in your nervous system and preventing you from living your fullest life, maybe that's the function like mine was and the flexibility which mine was, then reach out. There's a link below for the Calendly where you can do a booking and come see me. There's easy payment options just on PayPal there. And yes, if you're watching this and you're online, I'm getting to that soon too, but I just want to get going right now for that hands-on experience. Thanks to COVID, I really miss working hands-on with people, but I think we can safely move back to that now. So that's what I'm looking to do now in my home here. So if you want to know more, I've got a document I can send you all about it. And I'm even happy to, of course, back and forth private message with you. My personal message to you is that I personally guarantee that you will find a positive change in the function of your whole system. And of course, in particular, if it was an injury like mine, actual function that you notice in this case in that joint. But overall, when we get an injury, there's that sort of, especially if it's obviously a painful injury, that trauma locks in the nervous system. It kind of tightens us up. So what we're doing here is we're erasing that trauma in the nervous system through a protocol, a couple of steps going through the protocol that I explained to you during the session so that you can understand what we're doing. When that happens, the nervous system releases and gets reset like before that injury. So in my case, I got back my flexibility that I had pre-injury. And that can happen for you too. And I'd be ever so honored to work with you to have that happen for you. And as an added little bonus as well, a lot of the training I've done in all sorts of energy healing, if you're game, I'll also throw in a session a little bit about releasing the emotions that get attached to having a traumatic injury. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'm so thrilled that you're interested. And I hope you do take the plunge soon, and we can work together to getting you back to factory settings. And in case of timing right now, what are we? End of May here? Maybe you get your spring back in your step just in time for all sorts of summer activities. Take care all. Bye.